Hey everybody, welcome on into another edition of the Oilers Roundup with the voice of the Oilers, Dominick Lorenz. This week I am here with Oilers senior catcher Trent Grindlinger, who is in a little bit of a different spot this week. Normally makes his home in Southern California, but on the East Coast in Mississippi. Trent, cheers from the East Coast. How we doing, my friend?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Excited to get this on with.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to start off right where you are right now, Starkville, Mississippi. Mr. Mississippi State Bulldog himself. You're an Oiler for the next couple of months, then graduation, and then boom, college. Talk to me about how you're feeling about senior year, getting ready for college, and kind of all the emotions that are going on in those moments.
I'm very, very excited, obviously, for the next step, but I do really want to focus on what I have left with Huntington. Obviously, I've been there all 4 years, so just this last, whatever it is, it's like 80 something days left, which is crazy to say out loud, but I'm super excited for the rest of that. Obviously, I want to win everything, but yeah, of course, I'm super excited for the next step as well.
And by being out there in Mississippi right now with Mississippi State, what is that like? Is it just a general visit and kind of getting to know the baseball program and the coaches more? What are those moments like of being the high schooler looking into the future, but them accepting you as, hey, you're a part of the family now?
Yeah, so the real reason I'm really out here is just to get like a idea. So I've been out here 2 times already. Like I took my visit my junior year and then my official visit this fall with like all our recruits. But I just really wanted to come out here and watch how it was like on an actual game day against SEC competition. So they play Texas this week, but just so I could like really finalize my decision on whether obviously I take the college route and get into professional baseball or I go out of high school. Either way, it's a great option, but I just really wanted to get out here and watch how they play in the environment so I could really finalize my decision.
You got to soak up all those moments. It's incredible to have that no matter what, if it's, senior year or junior year when you were there in the past. It's great to have that.
Yeah,
You do
100%.
mention a big point about the option about potentially going professional. And we've seen that from Huntington Beach players in the past, most recent Ralphie Velasquez, who went in the first round back in 2023 with the Cleveland Guardians, was just featured in a spring breakout game, mic'd up and everything, which
Yeah.
is a cool moment for you as being a teammate of his for a couple of
Mhm.
years and as well somebody I got to broadcast. I was looking at the numbers, looking at some data, and MLBpipeline.com has their top 100 prospects right now, high school or college, that are getting prepped for the 2025 draft. Scroll down a little bit, and I found a familiar name, Trent Grindlinger, in the top 100 and the sixth best catcher amongst this top 100 list. I don't know if you knew that was in there, A, and B, how does that feel about getting that national recognition potentially for MLB draft time?
Yeah, I saw that. Obviously, it's super cool, but like I've talked to a bunch of people, my advisors, people that have been drafted, and it's cool to be recognized, but also it doesn't mean like too much. Like it's awesome to be a top whatever, but I mean, I got to still go out there and perform every single day, give it my all every single day because nothing's guaranteed, and I like to play a little chip on my shoulder, so I go out there every day, and yeah, nothing's guaranteed, so I got to perform every day.
Speaking of performing every day, let's back the clock up a little bit. A couple days ago, Wednesday, home opener, Sunset League opener, a tight 3-2 win against Fountain Valley. Those games are always scrappy between the Oilers and the Barons. But Mr. 335 over here, a 335-foot moonshot over the protective netting out in left field to get the scoring started in the first inning. Talk to me through that at bat against D'Angelo Diaz of Fountain Valley and just turning on a great pitch at the right time.
Yeah, so we didn't know who was pitching going into that day, so we had like no scouting report on him. So I only got to watch the three guys in front of me, and they had a good at bat, so I got to see some pitches. And then yeah, so I got we've always played. I've played Fountain Valley, and they always our scouting reporters they always like to throw fastballs away. So that's kind of what I was looking for my whole at bat. I felt off two fastballs that were up. They weren't away, but they were high, maybe like close to being balls, but I fouled them off. And then I got a few sliders. And then he just threw a slider that backed up in. I was looking for the fastball away, and I just adjusted, pulled my hands in, and got a good bit of it.
That gets the relief a little bit for the pitching staff. Otto
Mm-hmm.
Espinoza was the starter, and then Belrose came in, and then your brother, Jared
Mhm.
Grindlinger, who's
Yes.
somewhere behind you in the hotel room,
Yeah.
listening
Yep.
along throughout the way. We'll talk about him in a moment, you having that brother relationship. But 2 games in a row to start the year, Oilers score in the home half of the first. That's got to be, for you as the catcher and that battery mate to the pitching staff, how much do you believe that really kind of calms down, kind of allows the pitchers to take a breath a little bit when the offense can get on the board first?
Yeah, 100%. I think it totally helps them. I remember when I was a pitcher, even back when I was like 14, 13 years old, just having that run support, obviously it helps you relax. You don't have to worry about as much, especially at our field. It's 275 to left, so you can make a great pitch, someone sticks their bat out there. And if it's a one-run game, it's a tie game. So yeah, just having that run support, it definitely helps me behind the plate, but I know for sure it helps pitchers as well.
And going into preparation this year it felt like a very long off season because, as we've talked about in the past, with the schedule starting a couple weeks later than usual due to tournaments and just the restructuring of the Sunset League, for you, hitting, catching, maybe everything in combination, how did you get your mind and body right for kind of a little bit of a delayed start where you got to see everybody play around you and you're sitting like on the couch like, we should be playing, but we're not, but we got to start acting that way because there's a long season ahead and a lot of expectations.
Yeah, so I don't know if a lot of people know, but like as a catcher, like you have to ramp up just as like a pitcher. Like a pitcher has to, they go from 1 inning, 2 innings, 3 innings. They don't just go right into seven. So that's how I kind of took the fall. Like I started off the fall catching 2 innings every game. Then it was three, four, five, six. And then that last game against La Mirada, it was seven. But then I was talking to coach and I was like, I have 2 weeks off. Like I'm not going to be catching that much, especially if we're just having practice. But then he was like telling me we're having inter squads and stuff. So we were having full inter squads, and I was catching for my half of the team. I was catching every single inning just to keep my body prepared and warmed up for so when I did go into 7 innings, it wasn't too much again. So that's how I kind of handled it physically, but mentally, like watching all those other teams play, like obviously they had that perfect game, had that opening tournament. I wish we were in that, but I think it lit a fire under me because I was like, I mean, I can't wait to start playing. So especially that first game, we brought out a ton of energy. I think most of the guys on our team were like that. They were all just ready to go play and have fun.
Yeah, when you have to go kind of from 0 to 100
Yeah,
immediately and kind of play catch up in a way, at the end of the day, everybody in the southern section is playing 27, 28 games. So at the end of the
mm-hmm.
day, it's all going to be even when we get to playoff time, but you still want to get those repetition
Yeah.
in to kind of feel more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Pull back the curtain for me a little bit. You brought it up a little bit for the offseason. Inter squad. When you guys play, you have the Inter Squad World Series in December, which is a great experience for those that aren't familiar with Huntington Beach Oilers baseball or just maybe don't come out in the fall. That Inter Squad World Series, Coach Mick, Coach August, they separate the teams and it's have at it. Let's see who wins a best of 5 series. And that's fun within itself right away. But when you get to the inter squad playing at practice to ramp up for these games, what is that intensity like? Because I know all of you guys very well now in my 3rd year, even some of the new guys, and it is a dog eat dog world on this team. You guys are going to hold each other accountable, but also boost each other up to the best of your abilities. What are those practices like when it's a mano and you guys are friends, but then you get in between the white lines? It's like, okay, let's see what you got now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely my favorite practices personally. They're super fun. Games are always the best part. So anything that has anything to do around that, like live at bats or whatever, those are definitely the most fun. At sometimes though, it's like hard to like really focus on every pitch. Like if we're in the dugout and it's an inner squad, it's hard to stay really locked in on every pitch. But Coach Maduro does a great job of keeping us locked in and making sure we like treat it like it's an actual game because we only have so few of them before we're really in the season.
Absolutely. It's fun to see them and to experience them at the same time. But I know at the end of the day, what matters is Oilers against whoever else.
Yeah.
That's the goal at the end of the day. I know I can probably take any player, any coach at any time from beginning or end of the year. And the goals are very simple for this team. Go out, win the Sunset League, win Boris, win NHSI, and win the Division One bracket. I think you could
Yep.
healthily agree with me on that
Yeah.
one.
100%. Yeah.
Everybody has it. So when you looking to accomplish all those goals and looking to check all those boxes, it's a whole team effort. Funny enough, it's within the family. It was you and Brad, your older brother Brad,
Mhm.
back when you were a sophomore, And then last year, as you were a junior, your younger brother, Jared, who, again, somewhere sitting behind you on the bed, he's probably listening slowly, like, Dominic better say something good about me right
Right back
now.
there, yeah. I don't know
There
you
he is.
see
Hi, Jared.
that.
He waves and
How
says
are you?
hello. You took on that big brother mentality when he came into town. Now, your senior year, his sophomore, it's kind of a regurgitation of when Brad was senior, you were sophomore. Do you feel any of that as the older brother on the team to Jared right now, and kind of some memories that come back from when you and Brad were on the team at the same time?
Yeah, 100%. It's funny because Jared, and my older brother Brad are two completely different people. Brad is very like super narrow. I mean, he follows this straight path, and Jared is up, down, left, right. He's crazy. If I can say that, do you finally call him crazy? Sure. Yeah,
Okay,
no,
we got a shirt. We'll take
yeah, we'll
acceptance.
take a sure. They're completely different. I remember last game we're walking on the mound, and I would never be able to say this to Brad. Like I would when we and Brad would walk out on the mound, I was like trying to keep him locked in and whatever. But Jared doesn't pitch as well, I think, when he's locked in like that. So he grounded out, and he was getting ready to close that last inning, and he was facing their 2, 3, 4 batters. So I mean, and those guys have the ability to hit the ball out of the park. So I mean, 1 run game, 275 to left, like it was tense, you can say.
Yep.
But I was walking him out on the mound, and I was just asking, like, do you want to go in the jacuzzi later? Maybe want to play some Fortnite later? Just trying to keep it nice and calm, not worry too much about what's about to happen. But yeah, no, yeah, absolutely love playing with both of them.
That's for me as a broadcaster for the team. That's great insight because when I'm up there calling the game, it's okay. Mound visit, either Coach Springs coming out and having the little group conversation, or
Yeah,
just catcher pitcher. And I'm
yeah,
thinking, okay, what are we doing now? Here and it's like, what do you want to eat? What do you want to do for
yeah,
jacuzzi? I'm
yeah.
using that now in the
Yep.
broadcast. Thank
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
very
One
much
hundred
for
percent. Yeah.
that.
No. Keep it. Definitely trying to keep it light out there because at the end of
Absolutely.
the day, it's just a game, and you got to go out there and have fun.
And especially and even you so as a senior, everybody's continuing this
Mhm.
development, and it starts at a very young age, and you get to Huntington Beach, and when you get to Mississippi State, the pros, it's all one continuous development game at the end of the day, no
Mhm.
matter where you are. And for Huntington Beach to start the year 2-0, and I don't know if you know this, this is the best two-game start for the Oilers varsity squad since 2020, before the season got canceled before the pandemic. I don't know if you know that, but now you do.
Now that I'm remembering it, yeah, cause yeah, my at
Yep.
least yeah. While I was here, yeah, we lost. Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't
I did not know that
the
before,
last
but now
couple of
thinking back
years.
at it,
Yeah, the
yeah.
last couple of years, you're like, okay, in 2023,
Hmm.
my first year was a 2-6 start, and then that
Hmm.
massive winning streak that we
Yep.
had last year,
Hmm.
there was a loss to Corona, and then we picked up some extra wins in between. So, first 2-0 start, best two-game stretch to start the year for the Oilers since 2020. Now, after this, weekend concludes for you guys out in Mississippi, and you come back home, this is a very huge, well, the rest of the season's huge, but this 4 week stretch that we're about to embark on together, it's 4 league games this week, followed up by 4 Boris Classic the following week, a 3 game series against Corona Del Mar to kick off April, and then a little bit of a flight back to the East Coast to Cary, North Carolina for 4 games at the NHSI tournament. Huge time for the Oilers to pick up some wins and to gain some momentum. 15 games in a 4 week span. Let's just go through this first chunk right here. 4 games, 3 against Marina, 1 against Fountain Valley, league opponents that mean so much. Marina has started the year as of right now 6-2, and Fountain Valley, we just saw them last week. What is the game plan to kind of go about these 4 consecutive games this upcoming week?
Yeah, so the first 2 games, we were able to like beat those teams kind of using 10 to like 14 guys on our team. But these next 4 games and then these next 4 weeks, it's going to take every single person on our team to make sure we win. It's not just going to be like you could say the starters who are going to win the game. No, it's the bench guys, it's the role guys. Everybody's going to be putting a piece of what their best part of their game is, and that's how we're going to end up winning every single game.
Hey, a 2-0 start. We are not going to take that for granted one bit. I know when I talked to manager Benji Madure at the beginning of the season, kind of overlooking, everything that's going to encapsulate 2025 Oilers baseball, it was cliche, but nevertheless, 1 game at a time. And
Mhm.
it's a cycle of take whatever you learned from the previous game, cycle it into the next game, do it better or improve each and every day. So for you personally, if it's if it's defensively behind the plate or at the dish. What is one thing you feel that you have a good hold on right now that you want to keep on just rerunning because it's working so well? And what's one thing a part of your game that you want to continue to improve on that's maybe not where you want it to be at this point this year?
I would definitely say right now, I think I'm doing pretty well is controlling our pitching staff. And that's what I want to do throughout the entire year. Like focus. I mean, this year I'm focusing mostly on my catching. I want to be the best catcher I could be, best. Like I want the pitcher to trust me in every situation, no matter if it's he needs to throw a ball in the dirt and trust that I can block it with the winning run on third base. I want the pitcher to have 100% trust in me, and I just want to go out there and let them know that I'm behind them. Hopefully, I mean, obviously our whole team is behind them, but specifically I'm behind him and want him to do his best. And then something I want to work on for sure is still just working on my leadership skills. I think I can always be a better leader, whether it's, that Fountain Valley game wasn't as like our team, I would say, as a whole, our energy wasn't there the entire time. And I feel like I could just do a better job of making sure that even if you're not in the game, you in some way are in the game and making sure those people know that.
Well, you bring up two great points because I've seen it on both sides of the spectrum. I know, for example, the energy level. You're the first guy. Okay, we're an hour and 15 away. We got to warm up. We got to run to
Yeah.
center field, bring it on back, start the energy from that point on. And then you talk about how you want to work catching. It's funny when you work on catching, good things happen to you when you hit. And last year, as a junior, you didn't have a home run to your credit last year, but you did have 30 plus RBIs. And I did the numbers. You had 7 either back picks or caught stealings last year from behind the dish. Okay. So last year we talked about I gotta hit more, I gotta hit. And defense was a great calling card. And then now you're telling me, oh, I want to work on defense. Well, if you work on defense and we're hitting 335 bombs, who am I to tell you what to do?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm the guy. I'm just the broadcaster at that point.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever's working for you, and I think at the end of the day, coaching staff and especially you yourself, you know what works for you, regardless. First inning practice, bottom of the 7th, 2 strikes, and this is the game. You know you the best way you can.
And our lineup's so deep from, I mean, our leadoff batter to even our potential. We have 4 or 5 DHs rotating. I mean, yeah, our lineup matches we're number 1 in the country for sure. Best lineup in the country.
And it's so rare that happens at the high school level because, seniors that graduate every year. This is a rarity where 7 of 9 starting batting order players for the Oilers coming into 2025 are exactly the same from the year previous. The only 2 that have lost due to graduation was Travis Curry and Tony Martinez. Shout out to those guys at the collegiate level now. But 7 of 9 similar in that case. So to have that continuity and that structure, hey, even though Max Preps and a lot of ranking systems have you guys between the 3 and the 5 hole, Huntington Beach, you play with that chip on your shoulder. You feel like you're number 1 any single day of the week. It doesn't matter who you're playing across the diamond for you, on a day-to-day basis. It's that lineup at that time that works the best.
And Coach Madura came up with a great saying at one of our practices, or it might have been one of our fall games, and we were just playing coasting with the team, right? Not really asserting that dominance from the beginning. And at the end of the game, he was like, yeah, you guys are preseason 3 or whatever, but you got to play like it. We're always going to have a target on our backs, right? We're number 3, 1, whatever you want to say.
Yep.
But we have to, he said hunt. He used that word. He said, you have to hunt the other team. You don't want to be the one hunted. You want to hunt the other team. And that stuck with me since he said it. And that's our mentality, I feel like, going into the rest of the year.
Well, the best you can say it is you basically taking the words out of my mouth was besides wanting to win everything, what's that mindset? I guess we're going with hunt.
Yeah.
Hunt or be hunted. What is it going to be at the end of the day? And the Oilers want to be on the offensive, be that hunter and hunt everybody down with the target on their back. Again, it starts this week. A massive stretch for Huntington Beach as they have 15 games in a 4-week span, league opponents, tournaments, 2 tournaments in the next 4 weeks. Are the bags packed? Are we ready to roll?
Not yet. I mean, I've got my bags packed for this trip, but not yet for the other trips.
I know the frequent flyer miles that you and Jared have
Yeah.
put on from the summer and all the
Yeah.
extra showcases that you guys are a part of. Those frequent flyer miles are running deep in the Grindlinger household.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Absolutely. Well, Trent, thanks so much for taking the time all the way from Starksville, Mississippi. Enjoy the rest of the collegiate experience. I get who's Mississippi State playing tomorrow?
Texas.
Texas. Okay, so I guess as a lot of people would say, Longhorns down in that case.
There we
As
go.
a
Yeah.
USC fan myself, it's, I guess we can
Yeah.
both agree
Yeah.
on, boo
Yep.
Texas.
Yeah.
But in a sense, enjoy the time, enjoy it with
Thank
family.
you. Thank
And
you.
we'll see you Tuesday from Marina High School for the first of 4 this week in the Sunset League play.
Yes, sir. Thank you for
Absolutely.
having me.
Will do.